What's good, people? Trade recap. Today is Friday, July the 18th, 2025. Um, been on like a 4 month win streak. I haven't taken a trade in about 3 days though, but finally got some decent PA and was able to catch something. So let's go ahead and talk about it. I did post a trade recap on the social media, so executions and everything are on the socials, so y'all know I ain't capping. And yeah, boys, mini trade recap is on all the social medias, but this is going to be a more in-depth one on YouTube. But yeah, let's get into it. Right, so first let's just go ahead and put on bar replay, right? And then we can, let me change the time frame. Yeah, okay, so let's take everything out, and then once again, let's walk through it. Okay, so this is pre-market, right? Now, pre-market, my bias was not strong, boys, right? As you can see, well, recently we've been at all-time highs, right? And this right here is all-time highs, okay? Just so y'all know, so you know, you can scale up to the higher time frame. There's nothing this high, right? So basically, boys, we are close to all-time highs, right? All-time highs is a stronger draw on liquidity than just a normal high, right? So what is that for me? That's a potential take profit, right? And I'm keeping that in the back of my mind. Now, what's next? What else do I see? Right, so obviously daily bias, I'm doing it on the 4 hour, right? What else do I see? I see this 4 hour untouched inbounds, and we have been ripping, right? We have been ripping, and we haven't gotten a solid retrace. Looks like we are retracing, right? So I do believe that we are going to fill in this fair value gap, right? Now, at this point in time, what I wanted to see, right? Oh, crap, wrong. Oh, my chart's just tweaking then. Okay, so, oh, that's because that candle closed. All right, never mind. But at this point in time, what did I want to see, right? So we have a 4 hour fair value gap here. We have all-time highs here, right? Let's think logically, right? Either, and I have two scenarios, and I'm happy with both. Either we take out all-time highs on NASDAQ and we don't on ES, making a bearish 5-minute SMT targeting the 4 hour fair value gap, or we fill in the 4 hour fair value gap, we see buying pressure out, and we target NQ high, all-time highs, right? So that's what I'm thinking, right? So this is, once again, this is still pre-market. This is, oh shoot, it's only 8:55. So this is pre-market. We'll go ahead and run and see what happens, right? Okay, so I don't know why it's still going. I think I'm already in the trade at this point, actually. No, I'm not. I don't think, at least. But so as you can see, even if we get closer, right here, 925. I was really surprised when we saw this because we literally ripped pre-market. It was crazy. But what can you see? Obviously, NQ took out all-time highs. And what did we also make? Bearish SMT, you can see, right? So this high is NQ's high that I marked out. You can see it, right? So clearly, boom, 5-minute bearish SMT, targeting 4 hour fair value gap. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Scale down into the 1 minute, and I actually did already enter. Okay, this bar replay be moving when I even click pause. But so now what was my entry, right? So this candle ended up closing, okay, and then so usually at this point, I can tell that we are. So obviously this candle opened right here, right? My original thought, what I wanted to see first, was either this candle continue being down and then I enter off of a fair value gap that gets made from this fat move, or what ended up happening. Ideally, though, what I thought was going to happen was this candle was also going to be bearish, and then I wanted to retrace because this was a pretty strong move down, right? So I was waiting for this candle, and then this candle just ripped. It was fat. And then I was like, okay, now I want to wait, and I want to see a strong bearish candle to show that we have bearish momentum, that we are bearish. So I wait here. This is bullish. And I'm waiting for a candle close, by the way. So this is bullish. I wait. This is bullish. I wait. This is bullish. We finally get a bearish, strong close. It's not a weak doji candle like this, for example. It's a strong candle. So I enter as soon as this candle closes. So my entry is right here. Stop loss is at the high. Now, having your stop loss here, completely fine. It's fine, but risk reward is just not as good. Only a 2. So still good though, don't get me wrong. So stop loss was at this high to make it a 3. And I honestly only had one take profit. There was another take profit that I saw, which would have been this 1 hour fair value gap. But I ultimately chose not to because if you guys remember, like I said, I do think we are going to respect this 4-hour imbalance, right? This 4-hour imbalance that I have as take profit 1, I think we are going to come down here, fill it. I don't know how far in, right? So that's why I don't have a take profit at the 50% range, which honestly wouldn't be a bad idea, right? But we don't know how far I'm going to fill. So I think we will fill it here, and then we'll go back up and hit all-time highs again, right? So, yeah. So that's why I really didn't want to have this 1 hour fair value gap as a take profit, which actually does look like the 50% range. It's a little bit below the 50% range of this 4 hour fair value gap. So let's see what would have happened, because that would have been a good idea, but ultimately I chose not to, right? Yeah, boys, and then we can just go ahead and play it out, see what happens. Yeah, I mean, I know what happens. Now, at this point, I'm pretty sure I did get into drawdown for half a second. Yeah, right there. This low-key scared me, not gonna lie, because we were literally almost, yeah. Honestly, having this as a take profit 1 wouldn't have been a bad idea, but obviously I would have been out at break even. But that's why having multiple take profits is a good idea that everyone should do. Let's see. But yeah, low-key got a little scared right here, not gonna lie, but luckily all is well. And then I ended up getting scared again because, wait for it, I believe, yep. So this is 10 a.m. orange folder, right? Orange folder is usually not this crazy. Today it was pretty strong. So once again, when we were all the way up here, I low-key was tweaking again. I was low-key tweaking. But luckily we were good again. And we'll wait for it. And there we go. So take profit was, okay, wait for it. There we go. So take profit was hit. Honestly, I don't remember if we even went down this low because I stopped paying attention when my take profit hit. Let's see if we would have hit the 50% range. Looks like yeah. So honestly, this would have been an even better trade, right? 50% range of the 4 hour fair value gap, because it is in fact it's a pretty fat fair value gap, right? This is pretty fat. So honestly, having a 50% range as a take profit would have been something I could have improved on. So there y'all boys go. That's something I could have done. Even if you do win a trade, you can always improve on something, right? So yeah, ultimately this was the trade. I just walked all through everything by going through bar replay. Executions and everything is on my social media, so y'all know I'm not capping. And kind of sloppy today. Price action wasn't the cleanest. Obviously, I prefer zero drawdown trades, but we were in drawdown only a little bit here and only a little bit here. But we were deep in profit, and then I got scared, and then deep in profit, and then I got scared again, and then we get take profit. So roller coaster of emotions, but did end up hitting everything. Obviously, I am going to talk about improvements, right? Because no matter how good you are of a trader, everyone can improve at something, and something I could have improved on is setting a take profit at that 50% range of the fair value gap, right? We do know that 4 hour fair value gap, it was fat, right? It was fat. I knew we were going to fill it, obviously, right? Obviously. I'm always going to have my take profit at the beginning of the fair value gap because we don't know how far in we are going to, right? So clearly we filled in probably about 75% of this fair value gap, right? But sometimes we only get a tick into the fair value gap and then we respect it, right? Or we end up invalidating it, or we end up hitting the 50% range, the 25% range, who knows, right? You really don't know, but you do know that we are at least going to fill in the fair value gap. So that's why I have my take profit at the fair value gap, the beginning of it, because I know for a fact we are going to fill it. So something I should have done is honestly take this trade and exited out most of my position at the beginning of the fair value gap because I know we're going to reach that point. And then honestly targeted the 50% range because, like I said multiple times, right, this fair value gap is fat, right? It's fat. So, and we do know that ideally we do fill in a 50% range of the fair value gap, right? That's ideally. And then we see buying pressure out. So honestly, this is something I could have improved on. Like, see, on the 5 minute, this looks clean. Don't get me wrong, it looks clean. You go on the 1 minute, and it looks choppy right here, and then it looks clean. But I did say I did not end up taking profits here, so unfortunate. I did take out all my position right here for about a 3 risk to reward. And yeah, that's improvements. I liked my entry. Low-key, it could have been bad if I didn't wait. Stop loss would have been up here no matter what. Would have been a 1-to-1. I mean, it would have hit, but would have been a drawdown for literally majority of the trade. So that's kind of scary. But overall, I like it. Another thing that did save me that I actually did not point out during the trade, though, when this 10 a.m. news came out, I honestly, as soon as this 1 minute candle closed, hold on, I'll show you. As soon as this 1 minute candle closed, I knew we were going to go take profit, right? And why did I know that? This 10 a.m. candle, we swept this high, right? So you can see ES, we swept it. And then on NQ, we didn't. And yes, I know 1 minute SMTs are not the strongest, but they are strong on the 1 minute. Okay, so clearly, if you have a bearish 5 minute SMT, we are going to go pretty far on the 1 minute, right? But if you have a bearish SMT on the 1 minute, it will go less far, right? Like I'm saying, it's not as effective, but we still will go down, right? And clearly, we are close to my take profit, right? So I know that because we formed this 1 minute SMT, we are going to go down a little bit because it's a 1 minute SMT. For example, if we're on the 5 minute and we get a bearish SMT, we're going to go down a lot, right? Because it's on the 5 minute, it's on a higher time frame. Okay, on the 1 minute, it just means that the move is not going to be as great, right? That's where scalpers come in, right? Like scalpers, instead of looking at the 5 minute for an SMT, I don't really know how scalpers trade honestly, but if you're looking for for example, for us, I would want to see an SMT on the 5. For them, they'd want to see an SMT on the 1 because they're trading on the 15 second or the 30 second, right? So it's really different. But since we did form this 1 minute SMT and we were close to my take profit, I knew that we were going to hit my take profit at this point. But yeah, boys, that's the trade recap. This 1 minute SMT actually did end up making me happy, I remember. But when we were in drawdown, I was kind of scared. But that's the trade recap. That's pretty in-depth. Hope all that made sense. Obviously, I just walked you through everything through bar replay and everything. So gave you my exact thoughts during the trade and everything. So yeah, boys, hope that helped. Win streak stays alive. I think I've been on like a 3-month, 4-month, 5-month win streak. I'm not gonna lie, I really don't know. I don't remember the last time I lost. I really do not. But yeah, boys, I'll catch y'all. It's the weekend, so yeah, gonna grind and get ready for next week. I'll catch y'all, boys. Peace.